As news of the mysterious and deadly virus spread, one can only imagine the flop sweat that must have soaked through Shi Zhengli's clothing as she paced her office in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, WIV. Known worldwide as the Bat Scientist, Dr. Shi trembled at the thought that a worldwide pandemic may have originated in her lab. News that 3 of her colleagues were seriously ill with a pneumonia of unknown origin sent shockwaves throughout the WIV. Yet in communist China, one's first worry isn't always about the truth, but how the party reacts to the truth. She had to act quickly if she were to survive. She knew there was no tolerance for criticism. She'd seen what happened to colleagues such as Huang Yanling, who didn't toe the party line. She didn't know yet that Huang would ultimately go missing. But she wasn't naive. She hadn't reached this pinnacle of success in the Chinese research world without understanding the Communist Party roadblocks that could stymie anyone's ascent to leadership. Any misstep might be her last. Dr. Shi's accomplishments were legion. From her field expeditions to remote caves, to her collection and identification of over 100 new coronaviruses, to her collaboration with famous American scientists, she knew she was a star in government circles. But she also understood that no one in China is ever truly safe. Everyone is ultimately expendable, and the trick was staying ahead of the curve, avoiding the hangman's axe. Her lab was now under direct military control. Not that her lab had ever not been under the military's watchful eye. It might help her survive if the new military command understood that she had just been following orders. It might help her survive if she reminded everyone that she listened to and obeyed the direct orders of military scientist General Zhou Yusen. She simply provided him with samples of the mutant virus. He promised a general vaccine for all coronaviruses. General Zhou insisted that the virus must have significant ability to infect humans. The coronavirus needed to have a special site to allow it to enter human cells. She could do that. She had even submitted an application for a U.S. Defense Agency grant to do precisely that. She didn't yet know the virus from her lab would kill millions, but she did hope that the world would one day judge her based on her desire to save lives. As for her personal survival, she pinned her hopes on the "I was just following orders" defense. General Zhou was really the one in charge. He was official military, for goodness sake. Surely he would either absorb the blame or take the fall. Dr. Shi would not know until the spring that General Zhou would not survive the year. Was he killed because the leaked virus killed millions of Chinese? Or did he commit suicide because the vaccine he developed was not really that effective? Dr. Shi didn't know General Zhou's fate yet. All Dr. Shi knew at the time was that mistakes were not tolerated, that errors of this magnitude were terminal. And she knew that survival depended not only on demonstrating her usefulness, but also showing her party loyalty by expertly covering up all traces of the virus's true origin. But now it was a race against time. All evidence of the virus so carefully cultivated in her lab must be eliminated, not just to destroy the evidence, but to protect any other lab workers from dying. Once the danger abated enough for her to think, she knew the next step was to prevent the world from knowing that the virus originated in her lab. So late one night in September, on a muggy day with midday temperatures exceeding 90 degrees, Dr. Shi destroyed the online coronavirus database she had so painstakingly compiled over the years. Much of that research was financed by the U.S. taxpayer. The cover-up had begun. And it was only September 2019. The rest of the world would have to wait until January 2020 to learn of the COVID pandemic. And even then, the Chinese government would begin by swearing that the virus did not transmit from human to human. So many lies. Not just the lies of the Chinese government, even our own government lied, and lied even more as it tried to hide every bit of evidence of U.S. government funding of dangerous coronavirus gain-of-function experiments in Wuhan.